When I worked in newspapers, there was this one guy I knew and he had the best cameras of everyone. He had the latest lenses and they were all in the very best condition. He knew everything there was to know about his cameras. And the thing was, he wasn't even one of the photographers. Hi and welcome to the channel where everybody loves photography. If you have a passion for catching light inside little boxes, then you're in the right place. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. It's fun, it's free, and it's just down there. Now, as I said in the intro, when I worked in newspapers, there was one colleague that became a good friend of mine. He was photography mad. He had the best kit, the latest cameras, and the very best lenses. And the thing was, he wasn't one of the photographers. He worked in the distribution centre. Now, he was Nikon through and through. Cut him in half, and I reckon he'd have had Nikon running right through him like a stick of rock. Hang on, do they have sticks of rock anywhere abroad? Is that a British thing?
And today, I'm meeting up with him. And it's Paul. Just here, look. Hello, Paul. And guess what? He's not got Nikon. I can't believe it. What have you got on your
Fuji's.
shoulder? Fuji's.
Fuji now.
He's changed. I thought this guy was never, ever changed from Nikon.
So let's take some pictures and see how these cameras perform. Oh look, dog walkers.
Okay, this is Bruce, and Paul is going to try and take a picture of Bruce. He's over here, Bruce.
This way.
Here's
Hello.
Bruce. Come on over here. There we go.
You're getting really close.
Hey, Bruce. That's it. That's it. Oh, wait. Here we go.
Wait
That's
for
it. Let's have a look at the eye pictures. The eye of the dog. Bruce's eye. Right, I think I've got you on this. Look, because we were straight onto it. Look at that. Bruce's eye. Even a picture of me in it. Look, you aren't going to beat that. He's not going to beat that. Oh my God! I don't believe it. Let me put that side by side. I'm worried. I am a bit worried at this stage. Come on, Nikon.
Yeah.
My initial reactions, having a look straight away at the difference between the images on the screen, on the back of the camera, between the Nikon and the Fuji that Paul's using here. He seems to have so much more detail, which I can't understand that. You know, I'm shooting 103 megabyte images. Is that just the screen, or is that actually real?
So let's have a look at some pictures and start with the Fuji. So the question is, why did he change from Nikon? What is it about these Fujis that he loves so much?
The colour, ease of use, and the lenses are incredible.
And what about, do you use the film simulation mode much?
A lot. I change it a lot. Velvia can be too strong. I go between the Astia and the Provia settings mainly. But I try everything. Even the classic chrome is brilliant for buildings.
But is it? Because how much better than this Nikon D810 can it be? This has got all the detail I need. Oh, but look at the Fuji. That chrome has definitely done something. It's lifted the contrast, but not in the building. How's it do that?
Now, I noticed that you use the viewfinder almost exclusively.
Yes.
You never take pictures off the screen off the back?
Only in certain situations. I'm much rather have the viewfinder.
Yeah. And do you find that is it touch screen? Can you take pictures on the screen?
It is a touch screen. I don't use it.
No.
Because if you catch it, it can cause a problem.
Right. Yeah. You just don't trust it necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want to damage the screen and
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
I prefer to use the viewfinder. Old-fashioned.
yeah, I think it's one of those things that, you know, Stuart was talking about this in a previous video, that, you know, we've grown up with viewfinders, so it may be a whole new generation of camera phone users and young generation are coming up who want to use the screens.
Now here's a scene that fans of my channel will know I love doing black and white. So the foreground's got these lovely
tractor stripes in. The sky's got some detail in there, slightly overexposed there, and we've got this middle ground which is somewhere between the two. It screams black and white photography to me, but Paul has got a trick up his sleeve with the Fuji, a mode called Acros, which apparently lets him use simulated red and yellow filter. So here's the picture from the Fuji with the Acros. Well, looking at this, I think it's a great idea, but does it actually work? I'm not so sure. It doesn't scream red filter to me. Now here's my shot done with the D810 on high resolution, and let's get it into the studio, convert it to black and white, and bang, that's with my post-production editing. That's what I like to do. That's the shot for me.
Here I am. I've got the XH1, the Fuji. I've got it in my hands for the first time. What does it feel like? Light. That's what it feels like. It is beautifully light. And I have to say, for all the chunky, hard, square lines of this camera body, in the hand, they put a lot of thought into this grip. At the electronic viewfinder, that is something as a DSLR user that I've always struggled with electronic viewfinders, and that is that little lag when you turn it on and you look through the viewfinder to get the picture, and there's nothing there. You have to wait 2 or 3 seconds for it to come on, and I do find that a bit weird. I suppose you get used to it. So, did that go?
I didn't hear it. Try it again.
Oh, no.
Check, have a look.
Oh my gosh! I just took a picture and didn't even know it. It was so quiet.
It is very quiet.
It is very, very quiet. How did they make a shutter so quiet? I'm guessing there's no. It's not on silent mode, is it? Oh,
No.
S, is that single?
Single.
Oh,
That's
right. It's not even on silent mode.
No, that's not silent. That's single shot.
Wow. I have to say that lens is very smooth. I cannot believe the speed. Wow. So let's get down to take a picture of this daffodil on a spring day, wet grass. I've got to be a contortionist to get that picture. I don't know, I'm going to get up now. Step up Paul with the Fuji and a flip screen. Job done. 1-0 to the Fuji. We've seen it's great at stills. What about video? Well, this is it. This is being recorded on the Fuji. You tell me, what's it look like? What were my conclusions? Well, first up, they're both great cameras. They're both capable of fantastic images. So the differences are going to be small and easily altered in post-production. Lesson 1 has got to be taken from the University of the Blooming Obvious, and that is that the Fuji is a mirrorless camera, so it's going to be slimmer, lighter and more manageable than the D810, which is a DSLR. So I'm going to kind of ignore the weight issues. But if you do buy a DSLR, you know it's going to be a chunky monkey. And if you want lightweight, then you're just going to have to go mirrorless. Image quality? Well, that's an interesting one. The Fuji was taking great images straight from the camera. A little more contrast maybe, and for me, it was managing HDR, pushing down the highlights and recovering shadows better than the Nikon was. The Nikon seems slightly flat in comparison, but then again, they will be, because they are 103 megabyte images, so they've got a lot more detail, lots more tones. A pet hate of mine is that I struggle with the lag on electronic viewfinders and their battery zapping antics. Only last week I shot 1,600 frames on a day job. With an electronic viewfinder, I'd have needed a suitcase full of extra batteries, but the D810 with its battery grip had plenty of power for that. Now, the Fuji lenses were light, they were bright, and they were frighteningly sharp, difficult to fault. The big thing for me is the operating system. You see, if you're a Nikon user and have Nikon glass already, then it's a no-brainer. You go Nikon. If you're used to the operating system and menu layout of Nikon, then stay Nikon. It's exactly the same. Changing to a Fuji, and I was all at sea. I didn't know where anything was. But if you're starting out new, and this will be your main camera, then I'd probably go Fuji. Look, it seems a bit of a cop-out, but you're not going to go far wrong with either of these cameras. Me, I'm a Nikon guy. I feel I know enough about the Nikon system to be able to push the camera hard. And so I'd probably choose the Nikon over the Fuji. But if I was starting again from scratch, honestly, I think I'd go the Fuji. Let me know your thoughts. Now, if you'd like to hear two experienced photographers, talking about the difference between shooting DSLR to mirrorless, well, click on this video here.